Now, what is mentioned in gym book I am reading, and we have to analyze how it happened. See, this stream is flowing. The stream is over here. It is flowing, and it is mentioned Jim followed this water course for 500 yards, and halfway down the hill they came to a great pinnacle of rocks. Now these rocks are over there. They are everywhere. You can see these rocks are there. They are all rocks. So somewhere over here he made that man to climb the rock, and Jim continued down the water course, which after skirting round the rock went straight down for 100 yards to where it made a deep ravine. Coming down from the left at the junction was a small pool where Jim saw the patches of blood on his side of water. So he must have seen somewhere over here the blood patches where the tigers had brought down the kill. Because the pool is over here, you can see there are all pools. There are pools everywhere. There are pools everywhere. Now over here, patches of blood on the side of the water on the edge of the pool. On the edge of the pool, Jim saw an object which was the leg of the girl. So somewhere on the edge of the pool over here, somewhere over here, he saw an object which was the leg of that girl, which was so neatly cut that you will feel like it has been cut by a saw, not by a tigress. So this is what Jim has described. So the leg must be somewhere over here. You see the complete scenario. Here the tigers were preparing for an attack from the 15-foot bank in front of him. So in front of him, the bank, I think this is the bank. This might be bank which he is saying 15 foot, since this has happened quite a long time before. So I can just assume that this might be the bank he is talking of. There was stick there in front of me, which was so steep for scrambling. So it is very steep. This bank is very steep. It is not easy to climb. And only way was to take it in run. Jim took going up the water course and sprinting. So what Jim did was he went straight. He came from here running, and on the run he just scrambled and caught a bush somewhere over here. See, there are many bushes. So he must have caught some bush on the run and got far enough to the other side and pulled himself on the bank, where he found bed of strawy benters, and a little further on under an overhanging rock he found the remains of the killed girl. So this is very confusing, because maybe over there might be a rock where he found the remain of the girl. The tiger's tracks now led into the wilderness of the rocks, some acres in extent, where going was difficult and dangerous. The cracks and chasm between the rocks were marked with ferns, blackberry, vineshare. Jim abandoned the trail and returned. So I think there might be this pinnacle of rocks are there. See, this is over here also. And now at last, when the tiger was killed, Jim has mentioned that Jim was 150 yards from the gorge, and as he ran down the hill, he noticed there was a patch of green grass near the mouth of the gorge. So see, there are green grasses over here on the mouth of the gorge. There is a patch, it is clearly visible, and this is the gorge. You see, this is stream. Where he sat down with the back to the hill down which he came. So he must have sat somewhere with his back to the hill. He must have come down from this hill and sat over here. About 2 feet high. The grass are now very small. I am not able to find any 2 foot high grass, but the grass is over there, where half of his body facing him was the hill that was being beaten, and the hill that was being beaten was this. Over here he had arranged a beat party with the man beating with drums, tins and all. And the gorge that he hoped the tigress would make was to his left shoulder. So that means he thought that somewhere around here the tigress will appear. The gorge he hoped the tigress would make and was behind the level. Jim caught the sight of the tigress bounding down the grassy slope between two ravines on his right. So then what he saw was the tigress bounding from this side, on his right side, because Jim was sitting over here. So about 300 yards away, the tigress amid the chaos suddenly break cover to his left and taking the stream at the bound came straight for the gorge. So the tigress then suddenly break cover. She broke the cover and came immediately for the gorge. She came down. Here Jim fired the first shot by which the tigress stopped dead. So Jim, sitting over here, fired the first shot at the tigress. The bullet had hit her little far back. Lowering her head, she half turned towards Jim. So she must have half turned towards Jim, giving him a beautiful shot at the shoulder at a range of 30 yards. She flinched but continued with the ears laid flat and bare teeth to stand her ground while Jim had no more bullet left. Fortunately, tigress did not charge. But Jim was fortunate that the tigress, instead of charging Jim, and slowly turned and crossed the stream, she slowly turned, crossed the stream to her right and climbed over some fallen rocks and found a narrow ledge that went diagonally up and across the face of the precipitous hill. So that, I think, somewhere over here, these are the rocks over here, she must have found a shelter.